Hey folks, this is an attempt for the, I don't know how many time, to show you how to format a worksheet for printing. So I'm on page 113 of the Excel um, section here. So again, that's EX 113 at the top. And at the bottom of that page, there's a section formatting a worksheet for printing. This is actually one of the more important skills that you're probably going to want to get out of this class. Sometimes what I see is folks, they just end up printing a lot of unnecessary things when they're using Excel. So if we come down to the page break preview, this might be a little confusing, so you're going to have to do this a couple times on your own and perhaps with other worksheets or workbooks. So what it's saying is view the sales report worksheet in page break preview. So if I come down here, just make sure you're in the sales report worksheet. What it's talking about is down here in the status bar you have normal page layout and the page break preview. So by default it's going to find the greatest extent of your worksheet and it's going to draw a big box around it basically. But you can kind of see you've got a bunch of blank space right here, you got a bunch of blank space right here, and it's trying to divide these two guys up. And if you look real closely, you've got a page one, a page two. Things just don't really make much sense here. And you really need to intervene at this point. So if you come back to the instructions here, it says change the zoom level of the worksheet to 30% so you can see the whole thing, and mine's at 50. I'll bring it down to 30. That's fine. I don't need to read it. I just need to see where the blue lines are. And if I come back here to page 114, mine looks a little bit different than yours, but again, it's just messed up no matter what. So it doesn't really matter. It's just messed up. And we want to do this differently. Okay, so it's giving you these instructions here at the bottom of page 114. It's saying change the zoom level so you can make it easier to read. So if you go to 80%, and then we want to go to A1 through F24, and then A25 through P47. So that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but once you look at your worksheet, it kind of does. Because we do want to print all of this stuff from here to here, basically. We don't even really want to go down any further. So you could actually cut it off up here. I'll take it all the way down to 24 like it says, and then I'm going to press the Control key, and I'm going to highlight all of the rest of this. And I'm going to grab the rest of it. So I can do it that way. Let's see what the book actually says. So it says to make it easier to select cells and ranges, select the non-adjacent range containing the cells with content. On the ribbon, click the Page Layout tab. So I'm in the Page Layout tab. And then it's going to have us go to the print area here on the next page. So in the Page Setup group, we're going to click the Print Area button and click Set Print Area. And so you're manually selecting where those blue boxes are going to go. So we'll come back here, and if we go to print area, I use this a lot. And if I set the print area there, let's go see what it does in the guy here. So they're actually giving you 1, 2, 3, looks like maybe 4 pages here. Okay? So what we want to do is we want to remove automatic page breaks and insert manual page breaks. I'm on page 116. So point to the dotted blue page break directly to the right of column L, and then drag it, step 2, to the right and out of the print area. Let's see. So let's go back here. So there's page 1, there's page 2, and I'm going to click and move this guy way over here so that I only have 2 pages. And it looks like that's all there is. We'll go back to this spot here, and we want to add the manual page break between column H and I to split the monthly gross sales data onto 2 pages so the printout will be larger and easier to read. So we're going to select that column I, and then under breaks, insert a page break, and then we can see that we've got page 2, so we've got a 1, we've got a 2, and we've got a 3 over here. Let's go back to our instructions. And then they're showing you basically what we just did on our screen. So let's go back and look at ours. You can see the blue box around page 1, blue box around page 2. Let me deselect this actually so you can kind of see this. Okay, so there's the blue line there under page 2, and then you've got page 3. The page 1, 2, 3s are pretty important because that's the order they're going to spit them out of if you use a printer. So just make sure that you've got that. And then on the page layout tab, click the page in the page setup group, click print titles. So if we come back here, page setup and print titles. So that brings up the page setup group, and this is where you can do the pages, the margins, the headers, the footers, the sheets, all these sorts of things, which is really pretty cool and important. So they want you to click rows to repeat at top and select A1 through A2, rows to repeat at top. So we're going to click this, and we're going to click A1 through A2. Okay. And okay, so we've got that. And I think the rest of this is pretty straightforward, and I think you could figure it out from here. So I'm leaving you go after the first or second step on page 117. Again, I think this is probably something that you really want to become good at, just because this skill is it's going to be necessary for almost anything you do with an Excel spreadsheet. Most of the time, people really like to print these things off. And if you're asked to do that, it could become a giant waste of paper game for you unless you kind of practice up. Anyway, let me know if you have questions. Thanks a lot.